Hey guys, welcome back to 1776 or Bust. So on the table you have two fantastic offerings from CZ. On the left you have a CZ P01 and on the right you have a CZ P07. Now both guns are both considered compact firearms for CZ, and the reason why I favor these above all the other ones is for me personally in a mag restricted state, it doesn't necessarily make too much sense to carry a huge gun that can technically fit 19 rounds but only carry 10. So I tend to kind of shy away, excuse me, from those larger guns in favor of the more compact. Now, both of these guns offer a lot for what you're getting. Now, price-wise, the P07 is a little bit more expensive from the P07. Right now, the P07 I know you can find anywhere from like around $389 and up, and the P01 you can usually find around I want to say around $535 and up. It just depends on where you go. Now, both are excellent options depending on what you're really looking for. All right, if you're one of the traditionalists who want a metal gun, then I would definitely recommend the P01. You know, you have your alloy frame, you have your steel slide. So it does give you a little bit more, I don't want to say confidence, but it makes you feel a little bit more, I guess you could say at ease with the fact that you have an all metal gun. Now, even though it is metal, it is, in my opinion, extremely light, extremely easy to carry. I don't have a problem carrying this gun with me whatsoever. So I would definitely recommend it for a concealed carry type of handgun. Now again, the P07, for those of you who don't necessarily want a metal gun and you want to kind of go with a little bit more, I guess you can say weight restricted type of gun, you definitely could take a look at the P07. Now the P07 is not a 19-ounce gun. I believe it's around 25 or 26 ounces, around there, but don't quote me on that. But you do have obviously the polymer frame, nice rigid polymer. CZ does a very nice job with the quality and craftsmanship of their firearms. And then you also have the steel slide on top. So you're getting kind of the best of a more modern, type of handgun, especially in the century that we're in. You know, some people feel that steel guns or big, heavy metal guns are really old guns that really shouldn't be around anymore. Me personally, I don't really care if it's a nice gun, metal, steel, alloy, plastic, cotton balls. I don't care. If it's a nice gun and it shoots well, I'd like to have it. Now, in regards to what they offer and options-wise, again, both are decocker models. This one you can actually switch over to a safety. That's thanks to the Omega system that's inside here. Unfortunately, if you like to carry this cocked and locked, you don't have that option. This is a decock only. You know, for me personally, I don't carry cocked and lock. I do carry only with the decocked position. Now, in regards to the triggers, you'll notice that there are two different triggers here. You have that nice curved trigger and then the nice flat trigger. Again, it's going to be based upon what you think and what you're actually comfortable with in your fingers. Me personally, I don't necessarily have an overall preference. However, if I was going to only choose one, I actually do prefer the curved trigger. Now, for whatever reason, whenever I go and reach around the gun and I go to shoot the gun, the pad of my finger just fits absolutely perfect in here. It almost feels like this curve was just made for my finger. And what I mean by that, as soon as I come into the trigger guard, my finger just sits where it's supposed to be. There's no rubbing up top. There's no too low of the trigger. It's just right in the middle where it needs to go. And I actually like the feel of that. Now, one of the concerns or problems that I've had with the P07 and these flat face triggers, or semi-flat in this case, is a lot of times when I go and I put my finger into the trigger well, my finger tends to come up a little bit too high on the plastic frame. So as a result, I do get a little rubbing up there. So I have to always be consistently reminding myself, drop your finger a little bit lower. And, that's me personally. That, again, could be different for you. Now, in regards to the sights that came with both guns, the P07 right now that you see has the original rear sight. I did switch out the front sight. This is one I got off of not Cajun Gunworks, but actually CZ Custom. And I just got the front sight. It's got a tritium insert and a little bit of a yellow, I guess you can call it yellow. They say it's gold, but I would consider it more yellow. And it doesn't show up that great, but it makes a little bit of a difference. If I could do it all over again, probably get a little bit bigger of a front sight, but it does work perfectly with the rear. Haven't really decided what I want to do with the rear yet. I might just get blacked out sights, or I might just take a marker and black them out myself, to be honest with you. Now, in regards to the sights that were on the P01, the only thing I can say, guys, is as soon as you buy the gun, pop those sights off, throw them in the trash, and get some new ones. They're the worst sights of any handgun that I've ever owned. I've said that in my P01 video before. So I went ahead and put TFX Pros on here that fit perfectly. I like the way they actually extend all the way to the back of the slide. Some of the sights actually only go about halfway. For example, the XS Big Dots, those types of sights. So as a result, I went with these, and I really like the way they fit, and I really like the way they shoot. So I've kept them. Now, in regards to fit and finish, both are excellent quality. I will tell you that, in my opinion, the advantage goes to the P07 just because of that new slide finish that they use. It was not around when they were making these, but the finish on the P07 is just ridiculous. It's the same finish they use on the P10. You can't scuff it. You can't mar it. It doesn't matter if you have it in a holster and you're sitting there 5,000 times in a row pulling it out of a Kydex holster. You're not going to, rough up this slide. So if you're looking for something that's going to keep its finish and look pretty good, then I would suggest the P07. The P01, if I was going to rate the slide finish on it from, let's say, a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being excellent and 1 being horrible, I would give it about a 3.5, maybe a 4. It's not the best finish. It does wear quite a lot, to be honest with you, even with the holster wear. You can even see some marks on the alloy frame where the holster holds it. Is it horrible? No, because ultimately, it's just a gun. But I like my guns looking pretty, not going to lie. Now, overall, guys, if you're looking for a compact firearm and you're looking for something that's hammer fired, either one of these guns can be for you. Now, again, I would tell you that the biggest downside, if I was going to pick one downside for both of these handguns, it's really going to be for the people out there who suffer from, let's say, arthritis or some sort of condition with their hands where they don't have the same strength in their hands as they used to. The reason why I say that is because some guns obviously have a higher slide height. With the CZs, especially the older CZs and some of the more, I guess you say more recent modern CZs like the P07, P09, their slides actually ride inside internal, I can't think of the word. Internal rails, that's it. Ooh. So they ride inside of internal rails that are inside the actual frames, and that allows the slide height to come down a little bit because the slide is actually running inside the frame. So a lot of people do like that. They claim that it does help with recoil and actually improves accuracy based on the fact that you have less felt recoil because you're obviously keeping the center of gravity lower in your hand. But other people don't like it, and the reason being, and both of these are clear, by the way, and the reason being is for one reason only. If you suffer from a condition that makes your hands a little bit weaker, or you just cannot get a good purchase on a handgun, you'll notice that there's not a lot of real estate. Now, I will tell you, if you're looking for one of these and you have problems with your hands, you'd probably want to go more with the P07 because there's slightly more real estate on this slide than on the P01, and I'll show you that to you in a minute. But to grab it, you really have to get a good grip on it, because if you don't, the slide is going to slide right out of your hand. And I would tell you that would be the only downside of it. Now, of course, the P01, there's a lot less real estate. You don't have as much. And, for me, it doesn't matter. But for somebody who does suffer from that, then, yeah, you might have an issue with that. So in that case, you probably want to go with the P07 just because you have a little bit more play area at the top of that slide. Again, width-wise, the P07 is a little bit of a thicker gun than the P01. Again, you'll notice that the controls on the P07 are also a little bit bigger. I was told that this was for gloved hands, which, I guess that's okay, but I just don't like how big they are compared to, let's say, the P01, because the P01 is as usable with gloves as they are with bare skin. Overall, guys, if you're going to be looking for CZs, these are two great pistols for the prices. Again, 380 plus. This is about 525, 530 plus. But you really can get a bad gun if you bought either one of these. So again, if you're in the market for a CZ, this is not a bad place to start. You don't necessarily have to go and get one of the bigger models if you don't choose to. Again, if you're comfortable with the compact, I would highly recommend either one of these on the table. They're both fantastic quality, offer quite a bit for the money, and again, they are CZs. So I hope you guys have a great night. Hopefully you're staying safe out there. And as always, everyone, freedom is never free.